The camera drifts across a land scarred by both beauty and blood. Rolling green hills stretch as far as the eye can see, but the peace in that view is only an illusion. Beneath the calm skies lies a story of conflict, of love tested by betrayal, of families torn between loyalty and survival. This is the world of Outlander, where words may heal, but they may also cut deeper than any blade. The sound of voices fades in, debates in dark rooms, whispers in candlelight, warnings carried by the wind. But the air feels heavy, as if every word spoken is weighed down by the truth. There are only so many promises one can make before they break. Behind the surface of civility, tension grows. It trembles in the silence of long stares, in the way hands linger too long on sword hilts, in the way footsteps echo in empty halls. The narrator's voice sharpens. History does not wait for those who argue. It moves forward with or without them. A quick montage flashes. Soldiers sharpening blades, women gathering supplies, a map marked with battle lines. These images are not of peace, they are warnings, signals that the end of negotiation is near. The music builds, deep and slow like a drumbeat. You can almost feel it in your chest, the sound of destiny approaching. As the screen darkens for a breath, a single line cuts through. When words lose their power, action becomes the only language left. And with that, the storm begins to rise. The land may look calm under the morning sun, but nothing here is truly still. Every hill, every river, every stone carries the memory of old wars. The people who walk these paths know that peace is fragile, like glass resting on the edge of a table, ready to shatter at the slightest touch. Outlander is a world caught between two worlds. The old ways, rooted in loyalty to clan and kin, and the new order, where politics and power rule stronger than honor. In smoky halls, leaders gather to speak of alliances. They raise their cups, smile, and trade promises, but their eyes tell another story. Every smile hides a blade. Every agreement carries betrayal hidden in its shadow. Families that once stood together now find themselves torn apart by borders drawn on maps and decisions made in distant chambers. The clash is not only of armies, it is of belief, of pride, of the heart's deepest vows. And in the middle of it all stand those who never asked for war. Farmers, mothers, children, they live each day as if it could be their last, praying that the sound of hooves in the distance is not the start of another raid, another burning night. Their lives are the true cost of the arguments made by those in power. For them, words mean little. They cannot eat words. They cannot protect their children with speeches. The narrator's voice cuts sharper now. Talk may delay the fire, but it cannot put it out. For every argument spoken, another spark lands on dry ground. The stage is set. The players are ready, and the air itself seems to wait, knowing that what comes next will change everything forever. The silence before a storm is never true silence. It is the rattling of nerves, the shiver of fear, the steady beat of hearts preparing for what they cannot avoid. Across the land, whispers grow into arguments. Arguments grow into threats, and threats turn into the heavy silence of men who no longer trust one another. The halls once filled with talk of peace now echo with broken promises. Deals collapse like crumbling stone walls. One man's loyalty becomes another man's betrayal. Eyes meet across the table, not with friendship, but with suspicion sharp enough to cut. What began as words spoken in private rooms now spills into the streets, where the common folk sense what the lords refuse to admit. The balance has tipped. Symbols of unrest appear everywhere. A door slammed shut too loudly. The clang of steel drawn from its sheath. The hush of a crowd when a rider delivers news no one dares to repeat. The air grows colder, though the fire still burns. Every gesture carries meaning now, a clenched fist, a soldier's tightened grip on his spear, a leader's stare that refuses to break. The narrator's voice lowers, steady and grave. A storm does not announce itself with thunder first. It begins with a change in the air. It begins with the weight pressing on your chest, warning you that the sky is about to break. And so it begins, not with a battle cry, not with the clash of steel, but with the slow unraveling of trust. The people know it. The soldiers know it. Even the land seems to tremble beneath their feet. For the time of debate has ended, and the moment of decision draws nearer with every breath. There is only so much a heart can carry before it cracks. There is only so much silence a room can hold before it breaks into shouts. The time for waiting has ended. The breaking point has arrived. The night is heavy, thick with the weight of what no one dares to say aloud. Candles burn low. Shadows stretch long across stone walls and the air feels charged, as if the very ground knows what is about to come. Faces once calm now twist with unspoken anger. The words that once floated between allies now sit trapped in their throats, too sharp, too dangerous to be spoken without blood following after. Then it happens. The silence collapses. A voice rises, loud, defiant, final. It is not a speech, not a plea. It is a declaration. The kind that leaves no room for compromise. A line is drawn in the dirt and both sides know. To cross it is to choose war. The narrator's voice drops, steady and cold. Peace is a thread, and once it is pulled, nothing can hold the fabric together again. Across the land, the signs spread like fire. Doors slam shut or not opened again. Hands reach for weapons not as a warning but as a promise. Soldiers march, no longer drilling but preparing. Mothers cling to their children, knowing tomorrow's dawn may carry the sound of hoofbeats, screams, and steel. The breaking point is not a single moment. It is the weight of 1,000 moments, stacked one on top of the other until the structure can no longer stand. And when it falls all at once. The storm no longer waits at the horizon. It is here, pressing down on every breath, every heartbeat, and there is no turning back. The waiting is over. The silence, the staring, the endless words that circled round and round, gone. What replaces them is sharp, final, undeniable. A decision has been made. The time for talk has passed. Armor is pulled tight across weary shoulders. Belts cinch, boots strike the ground, blades gleam in firelight. The sound of steel sliding free from its scabbard cuts louder than any word spoken in council. Horses are saddled not for ceremony but for war. Faces once hidden in the comfort of debate now harden with resolve. There is no more if, only when, only now. The narrator's voice drives through, steady as iron. When words lose their weight, the body speaks in motion. And that motion is battle. Men gather in the courtyards. Women tie strips of cloth around their loved ones' arms. Silent blessings for a fight none wished for but all expected. Children watch from doorways, eyes wide, learning too soon that history is written not in speeches but in scars. The declaration is not shouted. It does not need to be. It lives in every step, every drawn blade, every clenched jaw. It is the silent vow carried in the eyes of those who march forward. We will fight, we will protect, we will not fall quietly. The land itself seems to echo the choice. Wind lashes through the trees, rain begins to drum on rooftops, and thunder answers like a war horn from the sky. No one needs to speak anymore. The decision has been made, and the world bends beneath its weight. The narrator's voice lowers one last time. The time for talk is over. The hour of action has come, and with that the march begins. War does not begin with the clash of swords. It begins in the quiet places, in the rooms where families say their last words before the march. Behind every warrior's face is a story, a bond, a reason to stand and fight. And behind every choice of action is the shadow of what might be lost. A mother presses her hand against her child's cheek, memorizing the warmth, the shape, the life she prays will not be taken. A husband clasps his wife's fingers one last time, holding on longer than he should, as if he could store that touch for the cold nights ahead. Friends embrace, brothers nod, no words exchanged, for none are needed. They all know this could be the final moment they stand together. The narrator's voice softens, heavy with sorrow. Wars are not fueled by steel. They are fueled by love. Love for land, for family, for the fragile peace that slips away too easily. The camera shifts. Children peek through doorways, eyes wide, too young to understand the meaning of goodbye, yet old enough to sense the weight in the air. Villages grow silent as fathers walk away, carrying not just weapons but the prayers of everyone left behind. The battlefield may claim warriors, but it also claims homes, laughter, futures. Even as warriors harden their faces, the truth cannot be hidden. Every sword drawn is drawn not only for honor, but for the people waiting in the shadows of the night. That is the true heartbeat of battle, not hatred, not pride, but the desperate need to protect what cannot be replaced. And so, beneath the roar of drums and the scream of steel, there lingers something quieter, something more fragile, the sound of love refusing to surrender. The storm is no longer a shadow on the horizon, it is here. Thunder roars like war drums across the sky. Lightning flashes like blades drawn in the dark, and the earth trembles beneath the weight of countless feet marching into destiny. The moment has come. The fragile bridge of words has collapsed, and what remains is fire, steel, and the will to survive. Faces blur in the chaos, soldiers screaming, banners tearing in the wind, the clash of iron echoing into the night. Yet through the fury there is clarity. No one asks why anymore. The questions have burned away, leaving only the answer carved into every heart. Fight, or be destroyed. The narrator's voice rises, sharp as a blade. History will not remember the argument spoken in candlelight. It will remember the blood spilled in firelight. It will remember the moment men and women chose not to bow, but to stand. The screen surges with images, torches hurled into the darkness, swords striking, shields breaking. The land itself set ablaze by the choices of its people. Every heartbeat becomes a battle cry. Every step forward is a vow. This is not diplomacy. This is destiny. And then, silence. The music cuts. Only the echo of a single line remains. The time for talk is over. The fight begins now. The screen fades to black. A final title burns across the darkness. Outlander.